Hello chat and welcome back to another TI King 210 NRL podcast. Today we're going to be going ahead and reviewing round 9 of last round's results, and then we're going to go ahead and look at round 10, and then we're going to have a look at each team's lineups, and then we're going to decide who we're going to tip. But before we start this podcast, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, TI King 210, and please subscribe to our podcast YouTube channel, TI King 210 NRL podcast. Alright, so round 9 had blowouts, close finishes, and teams under serious pressure. Today we break down results, biggest storylines, and round 10 predictions. Alright, round 9 recap. Super Friday was the Cowboys defeat the Bulldogs 28-12. Bulldogs attack is just struggling really badly. Dolphins defeat the Storm 28-10, and Storm are lacking structure and confidence. Super Saturday was the Raiders defeat the Titans 28-12 and the Raiders had a disciplined performance. Warriors defeat the Eels 36-14, and it's strong attacking shape for the Warriors. Roosters defeat the Broncos 38-24, was a statement win. Super Sunday was the Knights defeat the South Rabbitohs in 42-38 with a comeback thriller. It was the Rabbitohs in the second half who came back, took the lead 38-36 over the Knights, and the Raiders just struck back with a beautiful comeback over the Rabbitohs 42-38. Sharks defeat the West Tigers 52 points to 10, and it was a total domination. And last game of Super Sunday was Panthers defeat Manly 18-16, clutch and controlled by the Panthers. And the extra taking points are the Bulldogs in rebuild mode already. Look, the Bulldogs, they started the season off great, and everyone thought they did start the season off great, but now the Bulldogs are they have just lost control, and they are just gone from one loss to another and another and another. So it's just really costing the Bulldogs at the moment. But I reckon the Bulldogs are in a rebuild mode already. Let's see what they do this round against the Dolphins. Storm, is this the end of their destiny? Look, I'll put it like this. The Panthers were doing bad from worse last year to start the season off. They were sitting down at the bottom of the ladder, but eventually, halfway of the season, they eventually just came back on top and from the bottom. And if if Panthers can do it, so can Melbourne Storm. Roosters vs Panthers. Early grand final preview. Ooh, this would be good. It wouldn't surprise me if these two teams make it into the grand final. I mean, the Roosters, they haven't won since around probably 2018, 2019. But, there could be. The Roosters could shock everyone and force their way into the grand final to take on the Panthers. Warriors, a dark horse finals team. They are absolutely. They're looking like a team that can once again make the finals with the amount of footy they're playing. Strong, disciplined, and great defense the Warriors are playing. They could definitely be a dark horse as a finals team. Okay. So, Knights attack finally clicking. Yeah, look, the Knights, they lost to the Panthers the last round before, and then they come and they beat the Bunnies 42-38. So I could say that their attack is finally clicking, but we're just going to have to see, play by year. Can the Knights make the finals once again back in 2024? Tigers inconsistently, where do they stand? Oh, the Tigers sitting 5 on the ladder. Everyone would think that the West Tigers by now would be down the bottom of the ladder, but with Benji Marshall and the experienced players they've got, they are absolutely turning things around, the West Tigers. They are sitting 5th on the ladder. They lost to Cronulla, but it is what it is. Now, you've seen the difference what South Sydney did to the Storm with a drought, because the Melbourne Storm was always beating the Bunnies. Can the West Tigers do that against the Storm? Can they break their losing streak drought against Melbourne Storm as well? That will be interesting to watch. Alright, round 10 preview. It's the Super Thursday's game. It's the Dolphins taking on the Bulldogs, and there is a lot of pressure on the Bulldogs at the moment. A lot of pressure. Now, on Sportsbet, the Dolphins are favourites to get the win over the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs are favourites to lose that match. But either way, it could turn on its head. It could turn around. The Bulldogs could surprise everyone. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in this match on Super Thursday. Alright, Super Friday, it's the Roosters versus Titans, Cowboys and the Eels. Now, should be one, between the Roosters and Titans, should be one-sided. We've seen what happened with the Titans, and we've seen what the Roosters have done to the Broncos. It's going to be interesting to watch between these two, but in the end, I reckon Roosters will get it done. Cowboys versus the Eels, it's a potential upset game. That one will be an upset game. Only one team will get the win and one team will lose. That's going to be interesting, because the amount of great football the Cowboys are playing at the moment is just amazing. Amazing stuff of footy. Alright, Super Saturday, it's the Dragons and the Knights. This is a must-win for the Dragons. The Dragons need to just get their heads out of the sand, because this is a must-win. Because if the Dragons get the job done over Newcastle Knights, they will move to 16th or 15th, which will put the Melbourne Storm down on the bottom of the ladder. Second game of Super Saturday, it's the South Sydney Rabbitohs versus the Cronulla Sharks. It's a big forward battle between these two. We've seen what these two have done against each other. They both play great football against each other over the years. So this one will be interesting to watch. Manly versus Broncos, finals intensity. These two teams, it's gonna be interesting between these two teams against each other. Manly only lost by 2 points against Penrith. The Broncos, on the other hand, they lost by a lot of points, and it will shock everyone if Manly gets the job done over the Broncos. All right, Storm versus the Tigers, season defining for the Melbourne Storm. Look, the Melbourne Storm, they just need to pull their head. Look, Craig Bellamy. It's really sad to hear about Craig Bellamy. Craig Bellamy was diagnosed with his brain, and he's getting really sick. And this rumors going around saying that this will be his last year of coaching the Storm. He has coached that team for a long, very long time. And Billy Slater was in tears. Everyone is, and we wish Craig all the best. And let's hope that Melbourne Storm get back on track with their winning streak. Raiders vs Panthers, a light matchup between these two teams. We know what's happened between these two teams, and it's going to be interesting to watch this one as well. News of the week. Yeah, Craig Bellamy, once again, may retire after 24 seasons. It's a huge impact on Storm culture. Now, we said what Craig's done. He's done an amazing job for the Melbourne Storm. 2020 Grand Final, he's delivered that. It's just really sad to see Craig Bellamy leaving the Storm next year. And look, in my opinion, I reckon if Craig Bellamy is no longer the coach next year, Billy Slater is the man who should step as the new Melbourne Storm coach, and you move JT Jonathan Thurston to the Maroons coach job. Problem solved. Jerome and the rumors has been true. It has all been true that Jerome Luai has linked and signed to Papua New Guinea expression team next year. He's off to Papua New Guinea in 2028. So he will stay as the Tigers in 2027 and will be off to Papua New Guinea in 2028. That's the Papua New Guinea's first biggest signing. Now, Katoni Staggs, going back to the Broncos, oh boy. Katoni Staggs is facing a 2 to 3 week suspension, and this test, the Broncos is tested. Now, Tony Staggs, what he did was he was making a tackle, and Hugo Salva, Rooster center, Tony Staggs was making a tackle on him, and what he done was he got his elbow and he slammed it into Hugo's head, which resulted in a Tony Staggs sin bin. So now he'll be facing a 2 to 3 match ban. Predictions: the Dolphins to win comfortably. They're favourites to win against the Bulldogs. Roosters continue strong form. They're looking like a strong form team. Panthers to edge Raiders in a close game. That will be interesting. And this is a Storm must win all season. This is a must win for the Melbourne Storm, or their season is in really, really, really bad danger. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and review the lineups here for round 10, and then we're going to decide who we're going to tip. Okay, alright. Let's get the app up. Okay, chat. Alright, let's go ahead and have a look at the team list. Okay. First game of Super Thursday, it's the Dolphins and the Bulldogs. Okay. Emerson Tabuai-Fido, Jermaine Osako, Jack Bostock, Herbie Farmworth, Selwyn Cobbo, Bradley Snyder, Katoa, Thomas Flegger, Max Plath, Francis Mollo, Camille Menu, Fon Foniki, Morgan Knowles. Bench for the Dolphins is Ray Stone, Tom Gilbert, Felice Kafusi, Owen Keeley, Cody Nikarima, and Jeremy Marshall King is back on deck for the Dolphins, and Cody Nikarima is back from suspension. Okay. Bulldogs: Connor Tracy, Jonathan Sewer, Bronson Cherry, Stephen Crichton, Tula, Matt Burton, Lockie Galvin, Samuel Hughes, Bailey Haywood, Leo Thompson, Topanua, Jacob Preston, and Jermaine Selman. Still no Viliami Kikell due to his injury. Bench of the Bulldogs is Jones, Sean O'Sullivan, Harry Haynes, Josh Curran, Marcelo Montoya, and Lepai Hopai. So the Dolphins player out. They got Kurt Donohue is out, and Jake Tampin and Kurt Mann are out due to injuries. Alright, Super Friday, Roosters, Titans, Cowboys, and the Eels. Alright, so James Tedesco, Daniel Tupou, Hugo Savala, Robert Tua, Cody Ramsey is on the wing for the Roosters. Mark Nitawaze got injured. So he's out for the Roosters clash against the Titans. Daly Sherry Evans, Sam Walker, Nafayu Wyatt, Reece Robson, Spencer Leniu, Angus Crichton, Suo Wrong, and Victor Radley. Bench for the Roosters is Connor Watson, Egan Butcher, Nat Butcher, Salisi, Taylor, and Bernara. And for the Titans, it's Keanu Keeney, Jameson, JJ Fafita, AJ Brimson, Philip Sami, Jaden Campbell, and Zane Harris. Zane Harris, Khalees Haas, Oliver, Tino, Chris Randall, Fermor, and Cooper Byer. Bench of the Titans, Curtis Moran, Fonny Waker, John Patson, Amma, Jaden DeGroot, and Sam Verrills, and Lockley Elias is in the reserves for this round because I don't know why, but he's there. So yeah, Lindsay Collins and Mark Nitawaze is out for the Roosters, and Celia Fahmy is out for the Titans. Titans winger. Alright. So last game of Super Friday, it's Cowboys and Titans. Cowboys and Eels, sorry. Scott Drinkwater, Brandon Burns, Jack Produe, Tom Chester, Zach Labert, Jake Clifford, Tommy Dearden, Kern Hess, Reed Marnie, Jason Tomalolo, William Lukey, Sam McIntyre, and Ruben Cotter. Bench for the Cowboys is Sonny Luke, Griffin Neem, Thomas McHaley, Matthew Lodge, Xavier, Mason Barber. Okay, the Eels lineup: Josh Papali, Brian Kelly, Jordan Samani, Sean Russell, Joshua Dakar, Ronald Walkman, Mitchell Moses, Luca, Toman De Silva, Junior Polo, Kama Talangi, Jack Williams, and Jack DeBellum. Bench for the Eels: Dylan Walker, Saxon Pride, Charlie Geimer, Upper Tuwal, and Brown. Now, Jeremiah Nanai, once again, he is out and he could be sidelined for a month. He's been having the same issues with his same shoulder, and he's out for the Cowboys clash against the Eels. And Riley Smith and Will Pellicini are out for the Eels. Alright, Super Saturday, Dragons and the Knights. Alright. So, Clint Gufferson, Satutu, Moses Sully, Valentine Holmes, Matt Finney, Daniel Arkinson, Cade Reed, Ure Gula, Damien Cook, Toby Couchman, Dylan Egan, Ryan Couchman, Hamish Stewart. Bench for the Dragons: Josh Kerr, Loco, Blake Laurie, Jacob, Cole Flanagan, and Tyrell Sloan. Okay. And the Knights: Callum Ponga, Dominic Young, Dane Gagai, Bradman Best, Greg Marju, Fletcher Sharp, Dylan Brown, Jacob Sarfidi, Phoenix Crossland, Trey Mooney, Dylan Lucas, Jermaine McEvan, and Matt Croker. Bench for the Knights is Sandon Smith, Tyson Frizzell, Francis, Harrison Graham, and Fletcher Hunt. Now, Hayden Buchanan and Luciano Leilua are out. Luciano Leilua is out due to suspension, so he'll be back next round. Okay, second game of Super Saturday, Rabbitohs and the Sharks. Okay, Jai Gray is back from injury. Alex Johnston, Latrell Mitchell, Campbell Graham, Edward Crossy, Cody Walker, Ashton Ward, Kieran Kolomatangi, Bronson Garlic, Sean Kepi, Aaron Aiken, Phyllis Duncan, Cameron Murray. Bench for the Rabbitohs is Matt Duffy, Lachlan Harpner, Jamie Humphries, Sylvia Tatola, Peter Mamozolos, and Adam Elliott. Sharks. William Kennedy, Len Holte, Taylor Kai, Kel Ero, Samuel Stonestreet, Brendan Trindle, Nico Hines, Eddie Fanoa Blake, Blake Brayley, Toby Rudolph, Brendan Nicola, Ted Wilton, and Cameron McInnes. Bench for the Sharks is Jesse, Billy Burns, Origin, Thomas Hazelton, Lee Hipper, and Brandon Yuli. Jack Wyden is out due to his shoulder, and Jaden Sullivan's out. Alright, last game is Super Saturday, Manly and the Broncos. Tola Cola, Jason Saab, Clayton Ruben Garrick, Lee Hopperani, Luke Brooks, and Jamal Fogarty. Tyler Pacifica, Brendan Wakeham, Ethan Bullimore, Rico Latu, Ben Trbojevic and Jake Trbojevic. Bench for the Seagulls is Jake Simpkin, Nathan Brown, Jackson Sherp, Sola, Blake Wilson, and Joey Walsh. For the Broncos, it is Reece Walsh, Josiah Company, Jesse Arthurs, Shimasaki, Antonio, Ezra Mann, and Tom Staffy, Ben Tolte, Corey Picks, Jack Gioski, Xavier Wilson, Jordan Vicky, and Patrick Carrigan. Bench for the Broncos is Josh Rogers, Preston Ricky, Simu, Toa, Heze Perham, and Philip Coates. Kobe Hemington is out with injury, and Adam Reynolds, Dame Merida, and Tony Staggs is out. Adam Reynolds is out, injury, and Dame Merida is out, and Tony Staggs is out with suspension. Alright, Super Sunday, Storm, Tigers, Raiders, and the Panthers. Alright. Sue Falongo, Will Warbrick, Jack Howarth, Nick Meaney, Hugo Peel, Cameron Munster, Jerome Hughes, Stefano, Harry Grant, Josh King, Sean Bloor, Stefano Listi, Trent Leo. Bench for the Storm is Trent, Joe Chan, Davey Molay, Cooper Clark, Stanley Hunt, and Mwate. And for the Tigers, Heath Mason, Sua Turuva, Patrick Herbert, Taylor May, Luke Leary, Jerome Luai, and Jock Maiden. Terrell May, Tristan Hope, Final Pole, Sione Fainu, Kai Piss-Paul is back, and Alex Twile. Bench for the Tigers is Latu Fainu, Bati Alpha, Alex Safer, Royce Hunt, Ravi Gaia, and Jared Skelton. The Storm have Josiah out and Tyron Wishart out, injury. Adam Dewey, Fonatana, Sama Alu Fainu, and Stafford Tua are out for the Tigers. Alright, last game of Super Sunday, it is the Raiders and the Panthers. Keanu Weeks, similar to Tome, Sebastian Chris, Matthew Timoko, Jet Stewart, Ethan Strange, Ethan Sanders, Corey Hosbro, Tom Starley, Joseph Tarpany, Hudson Young, Sonny Sagi, and Jaden Brayley. Bench for the Raiders is Owen Patty, Dane Laurie, Atta Moata, Morgan Smithy, Sherry Stewart, and Jordan Atta. The Panthers, Dylan Edwards, Thomas Jenkins, Porter Molly, Casey McLean, Brian Ta'ol, Blaze Talangi, Nathan Cleary, Moses Leota, Freddie Lussick, Lindsay Smith, Isaiah Papali, Luke Garner, Isaiah Yope. Bench for the Panthers is Jack Cole, Scott Sorensen, Liam Henry, Isaac Tongo, Billy Phillips, and Billy Scott. Joe Rodney is out for the Raiders, and Jack Kroger is out due to, I think, suspension. So yeah. Alright, chat, and that is it. That's going to do us for this TI King 210 NRL podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, TI King 210, and please subscribe to our podcast YouTube channel, TI King 210 NRL podcast. And please comment down below and tell us. Oh wait, we forgot to do. Oh my god, that's my bad. I'm so sorry. We've got to decide who we're going to tip now. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Just tired today. Okay, so let's see who we're going to decide. Bulldogs or Dolphins? This one's going to be interesting, but for this one, I'm going to be tipping the Dolphins here to get the job done over the Bulldogs. Okay, let's put that down there. Alright. Super Friday, Roosters, Titans, Cowboys, Eels. Between the Roosters and Titans for this one, I'm going to tip the Roosters here to fumble the Titans here. Last game is Super Friday, Cowboys and Eels. For this one, I'm going to tip the Cowboys here to get the job done over Parramatta. Super Saturday, Dragons, Knights, Rabbitohs, Sharks, Sea Eagles and Broncos. With this one, I'm going to be back tipping the Dragons here over the Knights. With this, Rabbitohs and Sharks, Rabbitohs are at home. With this one's going to be tough. Well, with this one, I'm going to be tipping the Rabbitohs here over Cronulla. Alright, last game of Super Saturday, Manly, Broncos. This one's going to be tough, but with this one, I'm going to be back in Manly here to get the job done over the Broncos. Super Sunday, Storm and the West Tigers. Oh, this one is going to be a wrecking ball, but with this one, I'm going to back the West Tigers here over the Melbourne Storm. And last game of Super Sunday, Raiders and Panthers. For this one, I'm backing the Panthers here over the Raiders. And the Warriors have the bye, the 2 points. Alright, chat. This time. Alright, that's going to do it for this podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, TI King 210. And please subscribe to our podcast channel, TI King 210 NRL podcast, and please comment down below and leave your predictions below and your tips. Who do you think will cause an upset on Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday? Please comment down below and leave your tips and predictions below. Alright, chat. Peace and yeet.